Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great. This is Kim Chi's Art Pop Tarot, and I'm excited to have y'all back. So today, we're gonna be asking the universe for some messages, some general messages. So this is a very general reading. Whatever comes out, comes out. So I'm excited to see what the universe has in store for us, and what things we need to consider with their own lives. So with this being said, we will be working with the Spirit Messages by John Holland. I really love this to give it inspirational messages here and there. We're also going to be working with Darkwood Tarot, which really helps us get to the heart of the matter. I really love this tarot deck. It's one of my favorites so far. And lastly, at the end of each reading, we're going to use this, secret oracle deck to see what future messages are coming our way. And with that being said, we do have this little purse for pile 1. For pile number 2, we have this heart. And for pile number 3, we have this empty bottle. And for pile number 4, we have these 2 cakes. So feel free to pick whatever you feel most drawn to. And if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch those as well. And I'll see you on your reading. Hello, pile number 1. So today we're going to be discussing some messages from Spirit, the universe, whatever you want to focus on today, I guess. So for your cards today, you got 5 of Pentacles in reverse, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 4 of Pentacles in reverse, Hierophant, Self-Sabotage, Seek, and a Child's Love. So right off the bat, the first thing I'm kind of noticing is all these pentacles up here. In fact, all of this right here is just all earth energy. So I feel like this particular pile might be really struggling in terms of the physical world, the 3D. So this could be financial problems for some of you guys. I see right here with 5 of Pentacles in reverse. You may be starting to come out of a financial loss. And if not, you are still right in the middle of it, and it is quite affecting your state of mind. And the reason why I say this is because with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, I see you clinging tightly. I don't know if you can see onto something. This could be anything. This could be you. If you're struggling with money in general, you could be budgeting to an extreme, as in you feel like you have to find as many coupons as possible. You have to always find the best deal. You have to tell people not to, if you live with other people, you have to constantly tell them to turn off the light, don't use too much water because we're trying to save money. And this could be a very real scenario for you guys. But at the same time, this is just reinforcing the idea that you don't have any money, that you're always going to be broke. And for some of you, it could just be that the situation at hand with the pandemic might have really affected your way of life. With 8 of Pentacles here, which I see this as a card of working really hard, and this being in reverse, I see this being about you feeling unmotivated, unmotivated to work, unmotivated to do things you wanted to do. And it's almost like it's been cut short. Whereas before you were working hard to manifest this, now you feel like it's impossible. Now you feel like it's impossible, that there's nothing you can do. You just feel so lost and left out in the cold. And I think with the Hierophant card, I think this could be a sign for you guys that you might need to consider professional help in some way. Like, it's possible that some of you guys might be considering a loan, getting a loan to pay a certain debt, or to help you with some sort of, and hopefully this isn't the case, help you with some sort of payment that requires, how do you say it, that will impact your quality of life if you don't pay for it. Does that make sense? And if this isn't about getting a loan, it could just be advice from your family members. But I mean, with Hierophant, this is very like official institutions. These are very, this is why I'm getting the sense that this could be a sort of like any sort of company, agency, a loaning company, a bank. I don't know, there's just something very legal here. And I think for some of you, you could very well be in a position where your quality of life is being compromised. Whether this is because of the pandemic, because you're going through a very expensive divorce, or just there's some circumstance in your life that is causing you to hold on tightly to your belongings. And if it could even go as far as to your personal life, like your family, your partner. But I don't really feel like this is about a person. I feel like this is your quality of life and just a financial situation here. With self-sabotage here, I do feel like you may be getting in your own way. There is a possibility that, not for all of you, this will all depend on your situation. There is a possibility that you may be blinding yourself to a truth that perhaps this is not as bad as it seems. With Five of Pentacles in reverse here, we talked about how Five of Pentacles in general can feel like you are left out in the cold, you are caught in a financial problem. But with Five of Pentacles in reverse, it usually infers that you are coming out of it, that you are starting to leave this place. So with self-sabotage, it gives me the sense that perhaps it's not as bad as you think it is. It's not as bad as, it's not so bad that you need to cling onto your belongings. And perhaps it could even possibly be that you being in this place is a result of you being unmotivated. And this isn't always your fault. Like, sometimes we fall into being unmotivated, but it could be a wake-up call that perhaps you've been a little unmotivated for too long and you need to find the drive to get back up, back up on your feet, if that makes sense. So with this card being here about being unmotivated and perhaps even like depressed, and professional help, this could be a sign for some of you guys that maybe your mental health has been greatly affected and you might need to see professional help. With Hierophant, I usually see it as more of a like a legal type structure, but I still see it as being professional help. So whatever you consider professional help, this could be a sign that you might need to reach out to some help. And this also takes me to this card right here, Seek. With Seek here, and this person's hand being on their heart, I think your heart is in a heavy place. I see a lot of eyes being closed, so you're blinding yourself to some truth. I think you might be lying to yourself that you're unmotivated. For some of you, like you might be working yourself to death almost, and you don't want to accept that like that is the reality. You might just be like, oh no, it's nothing, it's just work, when in reality you're draining yourself and still holding on to your resources, like they're gonna disappear. So this could also be your own form of self-sabotage. You're working yourself so hard that you're draining yourself mentally and physically. So this could be another sign that you need to focus on your health as well. Yeah, definitely be mindful of your health. I just get the sense that this pile really needs to really consider their health at this point. And even like going back to the professional help, some of you might need to go get a physical from your doctor. I know these are like hard times, but and you know it's not really recommended to go to the doctor unless it's like necessary. But I mean, I have heard that there's other ways to see a doctor. Just yeah, and you know, take this as it resonates. It doesn't have to be the case. It doesn't have to be as extreme, but at the very least, I want you guys to really like consider your health at this point and see where you're at currently. Another thing I found kind of interesting here is seek a child's love. It kind of makes like a sentence. I think for some of you, you could have children or you have a child in your life in some way. And it could mean two things. This could be almost like I don't want to say an added burden, but let's put it that way, like an added burden to your stress. It kind of makes sense because when there's kids around, it's just an additional factor you have to consider in your quality of life, if that makes sense. So for some of you, I think Spirit is telling you that whatever situation you're in, you really don't need to worry as much as you think you do. For some of you might really need to reach out to your children in the sense of like maybe you need to spend more time with them, play with them. Sometimes I feel like parents get caught up with providing for their children but not actually being with their children. So for some of you, this could be a time, especially since most of us are quarantined at home, to really like get to know your children. And if you don't have like children in your life, this could be a sign that you need to get in touch with your inner child. Start doing things that you love. Start doing like a hobby. Instead of being focused on the bad stuff. You might just need to focus on yourself. Spend more time with yourself. As in like fun stuff. This could be anything. This could be self-care for some of you. Go and paint a picture, follow a YouTube tutorial, learn something new, do makeup. I don't know, just anything that makes you like happy and excited. Anything that takes your mind out of this. So just to recap, I think this pile is struggling a lot financially. There's a lot of signs here of physical and mental health problems, and whatever, if it's either or, you might need to see a professional. And I think Spirit's advice here, or the universe advice, wants you to seek help, wants you to really consider where you're at mentally and physically, really evaluate your health. And also if you have children, spend more time with your children. And if it's not the case, spend more time with yourself and your hobbies, okay? So just for like a few more cards, I want to see what is going to come up. What's in the future of this situation? Please, universe, tell me what is in the future of this situation. Cycles. Not that one. Actually, that's too many. Okay, I'm just gonna do one more shuffle and then I'm gonna take this one. Okay. Journey. I'm gonna do one more. Okay, should I take both? I'll take both, who cares? What is in the future of this? Okay, pile one. So this is your cards for the future. You got cycles, journey, dreamer, and rebirth. So yeah, I'm kind of seeing here that like in the future, this cycle that you're going through, whatever you're going through, is gonna end. I don't know how soon. I can't really say, but I feel like it's coming to an end. I do get the feeling it's soon for some of you, just because Five of Pentacles is in reverse. And with 8 being kind of like a symbol of the infinity sign, this could also be a sign that this is all coming to an end. I feel like for some of you, you're gonna have a rebirth. You're gonna have a new perspective on things, and I feel like this is gonna come from seeking that professional help that you need, or just finding for yourself, like how to get out of the situation. Like once you discover that, I think you're gonna be inspired. You're gonna be in this place where you're not constantly clutching onto the material anymore. You're gonna be in in a new journey. It's gonna be more spiritual, more hopeful, something that isn't just solely focused on the material world or your relationships with people, or even just on the idea of providing for your children. I think there's gonna be more focus on you and discovering what you want out of life, and so that you don't end up in this place of fear again, and being unmotivated. I get the feeling that some of you might really just hate your job and you don't really realize it, and this could be a wake-up call that like, is this job really all that? Is it really gonna fulfill you till you retire, let's say? So that's why I feel like in the future, I think you're just gonna have a complete transformation, or maybe not a complete, you're gonna start a transformation, almost like a self-discovery journey. I like it. Okay, pile one. Let me know if this resonated in any way. I think this was a very specific message, but let me know if this made sense at all, and if it did or it didn't. You're more than welcome to pick a different pile, just to see if any other messages resonate with you. All right, I'll see you on the next reading. Welcome to your reading pile number 2. Today we're going to discuss some messages from the universe to you currently. So for your cards today, we have King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Star, Take a Moment, Caregiver, and Memories. So I don't know why, like when I put out the cards, and especially the tarot, when I pulled out the tarot cards, and I just kind of like analyzed it a little bit. I don't know, I just kind of felt like a little giddy. And I feel like this is the energy with this pile. I don't know. So the reason I say this is because I feel like whoever picked this pile might recently have come into union with the King of Cups here. I don't know, it's possible you could have gotten married. You could have just taken a relationship to the next level, or you're trying to take a relationship to the next level. I feel like, pile 2 is this Page of Wands here. Just like, how do I say it? Like, it's almost like there's this energy between these two right here. Like as a Page of Wands here, you kind of see yourself being with this person for a long time. The Ten of Pentacles is, it's the card about generations, family, like a future commitments, and and future manifestations, like actual physical 3D manifestations. So this really makes me think that whoever is in your mind now, you truly see this person. This could have, even if it's not a marriage, this could be a long time committed partner. This is someone you've been with for like a really long time, or someone you hope to see yourself with for a very long time. It's even possible this could be a new relationship and you just have so much hopes for it, which brings me to the star here. um so going back to the whole feeling about being giddy and stuff, I just feel like this could be you, and feel free to um take this how it resonates, because it might not resonate with everybody. I just feel like you're in this kind of like Page of Wands energy, like wanting to manifest this relationship. You're like really excited for it, like there's just so much fire and passion in you for this person, and you're really hopeful that this will be the one. You're like, I really hope this will be it, like I really hope this is the person I'm gonna marry and have a future with. And and let's see, I'm trying to see what else I see. The only downside I see about this reading, I don't know if I want to call it downside, but the kind of dark side, let's call it, of this reading though, is that like I feel like this Page of Wands here might be a little too giddy. Sorry, I don't know if this is making sense. It's probably not, but I'll explain further. The way I kind of see it, I feel like you see yourself as a page and you see this person as a king. It doesn't have to be a man per se, but you might see your partner as being at a higher level than you. And this is probably why you're so hopeful for this relationship. It's possible that like in some way you just think he or she is just so much better and so much superior. You're never gonna find anything like this again. And this could be different things. It could be looks wise. You've never dated a person this attractive, and I think King of Cups is probably somebody who is very physically attractive. This could be, you could be dating, you could be dealing with Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be, but just putting it out there for some of y'all. But my point is, it's like I just feel like more than looks, I think this is somebody who truly like is mature, understanding, and they really see you for you. And I think they hold you in a high regard almost. I want to say. So I almost feel like you're a little blinded to the fact that they just seem so much more mature, maybe, possibly. Just because Page of Wands here, Page is an energy of being young and maybe innocent, but not necessarily, but mostly young, and could also be immature, but also, still trying to learn. And I think that's probably what this person is attracted about you, the fact that you are very young at heart, you're very passionate. So for some of you guys, this could be somebody that's much older than you, somebody who is more emotionally intelligent and wiser, whereas you're still kind of figuring your own path. That's a message for some of you, not everybody. And even if they're not actually older, like they are just more mentally, as you perceive, mature than you, from what it seems like. Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. My phone just like got cut because of this phone call, and it's so annoying because it was like a scam call anyway. I'm like, y'all interrupted my reading for that? Like, oh my god, get it together. Anyways, I was saying, back to your reading. I feel like this particular pile perceives their partner as somebody who's more mature than them, and you feel like you're still trying to figure out your place in the world. So in a way, you kind of put this person in a pedestal. I feel like With caregiver here, I get the sense almost that like this person could be almost like, I don't want to say like a parent or a caregiver. I just get the feeling that this person has been more emotionally supportive of you than say your blood family, and I think this is why you just hold this person in such high regard, because this is somebody that has, almost like held your hand when nobody else did. I'm also getting a really specific random message for you guys, but I feel like this could be like an interracial marriage or relationship, just because I see like, brown, white, and then brown, white. I mean, it doesn't really matter or anything. It's just something that kind of stuck out to me. So actually, it kind of does matter. It does bring me another message. I just kind of got a different message. I think it's also possible that because of this difference between, cultures, possibly, there is a different sense of like needs and wants and stuff, and the way we show our feelings based on like how we were brought up in our culture and stuff. So I just feel like it's possible that because of their culture they might not be expressing themselves the way you do, and you perceive them as being mature for that. So maybe you're more giddy and excited about this, and they're more cool about it. It's possible. And this could have something to do with their culture, the way they were raised. Could also have to do with, our gender roles, if you may. Whatever energy they adapt, or they not adapt, sorry, they tend to be in, like if it's masculine or feminine energy. It all depends. It's many factors. But I do still feel like you see this person in such a high regard that you almost see yourself as less than, and you're a little too hopeful for this relationship, that like, you're just kind of like, oh man, I really hope this doesn't fail, I hope I don't mess it up type of energy. And I'm just like, it comes from like a good place, like a very pure place, but at the same time I think it's kind of holding you back a little bit. And I just feel like in some cases it could put some strain in the relationship, especially if you hold it in for too long. I think you have been with this person for some time now, because you have like a lot of memories with this person. I also think that this person might be unaware of how you feel, like seeing yourself a little less than. Just because I see this person has their eyes closed, this person has their eyes closed, so I feel like both of you think about each other a lot. Like, it's very clear that there is some deep love between both of you, but you don't really like you might just have not talked about this feeling here. It's possible he or she could have already feel it, like a small insecurity going on, but at the same time, oh, do you guys notice here, like, they both have butterflies? I don't know, this could be a sign that both of you are going through like some transformations right now, in some way. Like, you could be leveling up your life, they could be leveling up their life in some way. Maybe that's the reason why these feelings kind of got a little buried under the dirt or whatever. They just got buried away for a while. And I don't necessarily feel like this is like deeply straining your relationship. I just feel like if it doesn't get talked about, it could. Also, with this take a moment card, it kind of mentions that you shouldn't rush into things, don't rush into decisions. So with this, I'm getting the sense that, this page of wands here might try to be a little hasty. So like, you might get a little insecure if this person is around other people. Like, you might make assumptions that are not true, you might see things that are not there, and this all stems down to insecurity and stuff, being blinded to your own insecurities. So again, I kind of do see that like you're just so like excited for this relationship, either going to the next level or just kind of like taking off to begin with. And you just like really see yourself with this person. And if you're wondering how they're feeling, I do feel like this person deeply cares. You guys have made like enough memories that are just very like endearing to both of you, and I do feel like this person deeply cares for you. You know, like they really want to care for you and they really want to be there for you. And I feel like that's why I got so like giddy also, because I was just looking at all this. I was like, oh my god, this is so sweet. Like there's so much love here. Like that doesn't always happen. It's like we gotta celebrate that shit from time to time. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull a few more cards just to see like what's in store for the future for you both. Let's see. Please, Spirit, please tell me what is in store for this pile. Oh, that's too many cards. We don't need that many. That's a lot. Okay. Oh, rebirth. Journey. Pile 1 got these cards too, so let's see. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's too many cards. Let's do it again. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle one more time and then I'm gonna grab a card. Dreamer. That's crazy because pile 1 actually got all these cards. So it's a little bizarre. I actually did shuffle them too so that they wouldn't get all mixed up again. Maybe I didn't do it right. I'm sorry. But I mean, either way, whatever the case is, I do feel like this also fits quite well with this reading. In the future, I do see that there is going to be some sort of rebirth for this relationship. So it's possible that like you might have to address these issues with your partner, and you know, just let them know what's going on if you are feeling like insecure, or if you, even if you are feeling hopeful for this relationship. Like, you know, like relationships don't always have to be like, you don't always have to talk about sad things or bad things. You know, it's to talk about like the good things, things you're excited about, you know. So like I think even if you express to this person how excited you are to be with them, and just to kind of like find out if how they feel, you know, like that could be of help too, and this will change the dynamic of the relationship. I think with Journey here, I see that like I feel like you're gonna kind of take on a more active role in your relationship if you haven't already, or if you feel like you haven't really. You're gonna take a more active role, focus more on yourself, not necessarily break up with your partner. Could be for some of you, I guess, but I don't really feel that here. I just feel like you're gonna overcome this insecurity, and you're kind of gonna accept the relationship for what it is. And you know, accepting things for what they are isn't always a bad thing. It just means that like you'll see yourself at the same level of your partner, and you won't see yourself as less than, which is kind of what we want. We want to be equals, not you know, higher and lower than each other. Does that make sense? With Dreamer here, I feel like I do feel like this person is going to be around to help you fulfill your dreams, but I do feel like what matters the most here is that you are fulfilling your own dreams. And I feel like this dream you have about being with this person will come true. um, even if it doesn't for some reason, because I don't want to mess up this energy. It's just so like so pure and good, okay? But let's say that if even if it doesn't, I just feel like you'll find yourself in a place where like, you know, you can do anything you set your mind to. But honestly, y'all, I really do strongly feel hopeful for this relationship. Maybe it's this energy of this pile. It's just like rubbing off on me. I really feel like this is gonna go somewhere, and this relationship is just gonna like thrive and survive, and it's gonna be a journey. It's not gonna be like easy. But I do feel like both of you like each other enough that like you're willing to go for each other. You're willing to go for each other's dreams, if that makes sense. Okay, pile number two. I hope y'all like this reading. And if you don't have somebody in your life right now, this might not be your pile. So I'm just letting. I don't mean. I'm not even sure why you stuck around this far, because if you absolutely do not have anybody like this, because like this is very clearly for somebody that might be in like a committed relationship, or they're hoping to get married soon. It is possible that this could be about a like budding relationship, like it's just kind of just took off. Yeah, I could definitely see this being about like a very new relationship. I feel like with new relationships, it's kind of a little bit better to take it easy, but that's just my opinion. So, take what resonates for this pile. And if this did not resonate, feel free to pick a different pile. And if it did resonate, but you're still wanted to, see a different pile, feel free to pick another one as well. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Welcome to your reading pile number three. So today we're going to talk about some messages from the universe or spirit to you currently. So for your pile, you got Ace of Wands in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse, Six of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Hello from Heaven. Stay connected and have fun. So I just want to say, like, tell me why these messages, like, this whole reading so far, like, has been very oddly specific messages. And I just feel like so far it's been kind of like down, up, down. So I'm just like all these intense messages coming in like so far. Sorry, I'm just talking. I'm just talking to myself. So I wanted to start with Page of Swords here. So Page of Swords is somebody who is very alert, is very focused, is inquisitive, is still learning, but is very passionate about learning. This is somebody who is very intellectual, but I feel like whoever picked this pile feels like blocked at the moment. I don't know if you can see how Page of Swords here has her sword up, almost like she's blocking out anybody who tries to, approach her in a sense. With Ace of Wands here, being in reverse, I could, I'm getting like the feeling of like burnout here, and I'll explain why. It's just that like with Six of Pentacles here, I feel like you might have you might have how do I say it? You might be in like some sort of commitment that you feel like you can't get out of. Does this make sense? So this could be an actual legal thing that you could have signed up for. I don't know if you can see in this card here how the girls are signing away something, whatever it is, to the devil. It's like almost you made a pact with the devil kind of feeling here. And this could be the case for you. You could have signed up for something that seemed great at the beginning, but now you're just kind of like, you feel stuck and you feel committed to it. So this could, for some of you, be a very legal issue. This could be a very big commitment. Could be related to work. And with Wheel of Fortune here, I think it also comes down to the circumstances in life. So this could be something like something completely out of your control here. Usually I see Wheel of Fortune upright as something good, like good fortune almost, luck. But in this context, I kind of see it as not really bad or good. It's just kind of neutral. It's just something that kind of got thrown your way, and now you kind of have to deal with it. So for some of you, going back to this whole legal commitment, let's call it, it could even be that for some of you, you just started your own business, or you started your business around the time the pandemic hit, and now you're constantly dealing with these ever changing you know rules of like curfew, and like businesses have to close. We have all these rules we have to live up to, otherwise your business gets closed. And I've seen like a couple of people talk about how their businesses get reopened and closed, reopened and closed, and they suffer financially because of this. So this doesn't have to be you, um, but whatever it is, there is some commitment um, that is causing you burnout and is causing you to like block yourself. Another thing this could be about relationships also. It could be like a commitment to your family. um, I even want to say, for some of you, you could have just had a baby. Like some of you ladies, some of you could have had a baby, and you're realizing like how difficult the journey of motherhood is. I don't really necessarily think that that's what this pile is about, but I just want another possibility. What I'm getting at is there is a certain commitment that you feel obligated to fulfill, if that makes sense. And I think as a as a result of this burnout here, um, you're blocking yourself from your family, from the people that try to give you advice. This reminds me of somebody that like they are so stuck in their ways of doing things, or they've been doing things a certain way for so long that they won't accept any other way to do it. And I don't necessarily feel like you're a bad person because of this in any way. It's just that like you feel like, for many of us, we feel like when we do a certain way of things and it has always worked, it just doesn't feel necessary to try to change it. But at the same time, life is always changing, so we always have to like improve ourselves. And the worst part is, I feel like, with Stay Connected, I feel like in some ways you've kind of been rejecting advice from other people, which is kind of going against your inquisitive intellectual nature. So see what I mean? I feel like you're closed off at the moment because you're kind of in like a bit of a survival mode here. This just gave me a bit of a feeling like in pile one, but I feel like pile one was very, very strictly about material possessions and money and stuff. Here, it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. I just feel like it has to do with a way of living, a way of being, a mindset. And right now, your mindset is just very focused on surviving, possibly paying off this debt. For some of you, yeah, you could have like a credit card debt or some sort of debt that you have to pay back, and you could have signed up for a loan with really high interests, and now you're struggling paying back that loan, for some of you. And I'm just picking up whatever comes at me, but I just really feel like you feel so burdened right now. And I think that what Spirit is saying here is that you need to have fun. And I know that sounds like easier said than done. It sounds like a cookie cutter kind of advice, but I just feel like, I mean, for one, it just kind of shows that, you know, whoever is in this energy is really really stuck in that energy. Like, have fun, like, how stupid, like, you don't have time for that, right? It's like, no honey, like, you have time, you just gotta make the time. And you know, I feel like when we get stuck in this way of just like survival, we just forget how to have fun, and that's just like not good for your mental health in the long run. Another thing is, I feel like you could be neglecting your relationships, and spirit is saying that you need to connect with your friends like ASAP. And if you don't have any friends, like, you need to start talking to people online or something. Like, you need to communicate with people, or maybe even just hang out with your family from time to time, especially if you live alone or are kind of like isolated in general. You need to have a conversation with somebody that you really trust and that will understand what you're going through, and that way you won't feel as defensive about, you know, your situation. I feel like it's easy for an individual like this to kind of take things a little too personal when it's not. And that's kind of another message from spirit. I feel like it's just, don't take things too personal. With hello from heaven, I don't know if you can see like the hands here. I feel like this is somebody trying to reach out to you. This could be somebody from the spirit world, sorry. And but I also feel like this could be your actual friends and family. I feel like for a while now your friends or family have been trying to reach out to you in little ways, but you've been kind of like rejecting them. So I think this is a sign from spirit that you need to, you know, like, accept their help. I don't know if you can see here. These look like coins here, so somebody could be offering you like money, and maybe you just like refuse to take it for some reason. It could be out of like pride, or you feel like you don't want to burden anybody. Whatever it is, it sounds like a very ego based explanation. I don't know what the word is. But I hope this is all making sense so far. Like I just feel like this pile just needs to like have fun. And in many ways I feel so bad for this pile, because I just feel like they kind of got thrown into this, and it wasn't really like their fault, but now they're kind of like in this mode, and it's hard for people to empathize with somebody who's constantly grouchy and you know, like defensive. But it's kind of like, you gotta understand that they kind of got forced into this. You know, sometimes shit happens. And you know, I guess for any other like cross watchers, this could be a sign that you need to be more understanding of the people that are working their ass off in your family or your friends, and why they might not be talking as much. I don't know why that just came through. Like, for the other piles that didn't come through, but for this one specifically, like, man, I just feel like so bad for this person. It's like, imagine having to feel like you have to do this all the time, when it's not necessarily true in some cases, but for some of you guys, like, you actually have to do it because of this commitment. It's insane. And just kind of going back to the whole motherhood journey, like, a lot of people love showing the nice things about it, and like, you know, the peachy stuff, but you know, it's probably like, it's so much harder than it seems, you know, taking care of like a, you know, a newborn. And then it's like, we have the pandemic going on, so that just like an added stress to all this. So you know, you just need to be more empathetic to one another. I don't know, just my little 2 cents. I don't know why, I just felt like saying it. Okay, pile number 3. So enough rambling. I'm gonna pull out a few cards about the future of your situation. So please, Spirit, tell me what is in store for this person. What are you getting to? Oh my god, this one was kind of weird. Oh, romance. Okay. What is in the future of this individual? What is in the future of pile 3? Pilgrimage. Please give me one more card with this person's future. What is in store for them? What is in store for pile 3? Oh, I put that one back earlier. That's funny. It just really wanted to come out. So for your future, you have romance, pilgrimage, and gentleness. This gives me a little bit of relief because I'm seeing that whatever you're going through, you're gonna overcome it. I feel like you're finally gonna take this help and you're gonna bring out a gentler side of yourself. I also feel like for some of you singles who have been looking for romance, you're gonna get romance, and I think this romance is gonna bring a gentle side out of you. But if you're not looking for romance, it's okay. I just feel like in the future you're just gonna have so much love in your world, like whether it's from friends or family or whatever. But I do feel like some of you might really be looking for somebody, and this is a sign that like it's coming. I just feel like you just kind of have to get through this lesson that you're going through currently. And yeah, this room is gonna bring like a gentle side of yourself. With pilgrimage, this talks a lot about choosing your own path. So this is saying to me that in the future, your future is gonna depend a lot on how you overcome this situation here. So it's kind of like one of those situations that like, yes, it was thrown at you, it wasn't your fault, but you know how you deal with it, you know, is really gonna predict how you're gonna deal with future situations like this. It's like a karmic cycle, you know. So this is telling me that, you know, once you overcome this cycle here, you're gonna be in a place of being gentle and kinder to others. You will have grown emotionally, you know, because of all this BS you had to put up with. You're gonna learn to be more balanced when you take on commitments, but also learning how to put yourself first in your relationships as well. So I honestly feel like this pile is gonna figure it out. You guys are gonna like figure out how to fix this commitment you're in, how to find the perfect balance between, okay, I have to do my responsibility, but I also have a commitment to myself, like not others, if that makes sense. And I do feel like your drive is going to come back. This burnout is gonna go away, and your passion and drive, you know, for your dreams is gonna come back. I mean, this passion could even be channeled through your romance. So, hunty, time to get working. You know, not too hard though. All right, pile 3. I hope this all made sense, and if it didn't, feel free to choose a different pile. And you know, and if you feel called to a different pile, like feel free. I did feel a little bit of similarities between this and pile 1. So if you're going through like an actual financial struggle, I think you would really benefit from watching pile 1 as well and see what what messages resonate. But if not, you know, I will see you on the next reading. Welcome to your reading, pile number 4. So today we're going to discuss some messages from the universe to you currently. So these are some current messages that we're going to go over. And for your cards, you got the Lovers, 2 of Swords in reverse, the 6 of Wands, 8 of Cups, Strength, Vulnerability, and Reach Out. So to start things off, the first thing I'm kind of already noticing is the Eight of Cups. With Eight of Cups, I feel like you're in a place in your life where you're kind of trying to maybe like level up almost. Um, you're trying to transform who you were possibly, and I just feel like you're right in that place where you're almost transforming. You're almost like you're this cycle is almost complete with eight being here. But you're still kind of going back between the Seven of Cups energy and Eight of Cups. So when I say Seven of Cups, I mean like if you've ever seen the Seven of Cups card, it's almost like you have different choices in life. If you can see here, this is a representation of the Seven of Cups, and then the eighth one being here. How you have different choices in life. It's like each cup is a representation of some aspect of your life. It could be a representation of like all these choices you have to make, choices in love, choices in work, in your career, how you spend your money, things like that. So and the problem with that is that we often get stuck in this cycle of like we never know what to choose, or we're always questioning if we picked the wrong thing, or we're always in this mode of like you just want everything, like you want to pick everything, you want it all at once, and it creates a lot of conflict. But with Eight of Cups, it's almost like you kind of grown past that energy. You're in this place of like you kind of already starting to know what you want out of life, and you kind of know what you're going to choose going forward. And this is making sense. It's almost like there is more of a sense of security here than Seven of Cups, for example. So I feel like this is where you are in life, where you're kind of like unsure how to move forward, because this is where you've kind of been. You were kind of lost for so long, and you just right at that spot where you're like, okay, I'm gonna just make the decision, like just get on with it, right? So this is the overall energy I'm getting for this pile. But just adding on to what I was saying about unsure how to move forward, this takes me back to Two of Swords in reverse. So with Two of Swords in reverse, I get the sensation here that like I feel like you might have gone through something very painful, and you're trying to make a decision between two choices. So with the Lovers here, I get the feeling that some of you might have met somebody new. You might be trying to come into union with somebody. But on the other hand, I get the feeling here that with Six of Wands, you're also in this place where you feel like there's still so much left to do. You still have people to meet, you know, jobs to apply for, you know what I mean? It's almost like in many ways, and this is a good thing, you're kind of so secure with yourself and the people around you, and the way your life is so far or up until now, that you're wondering if you even really need anybody. On the other hand, I do feel like whoever this is, you really want this person, like, you know. But I feel like in some ways you might have gone through some really bad situation that has made you feel like doubting love, or in some ways made you feel like you can't be vulnerable, because being vulnerable is is weak. But I feel like spirit is trying to tell you that, you know, being vulnerable comes from a place of strength. And I feel like it actually says it here somewhere in this card. But you know, so it I don't know, to me this really just comes down to making a choice. I mean, not even just to me, I just feel like spirit in general, like this reading is just so like, it just feels so, I don't want to say dark, it doesn't feel dark, it just feels so like straightforward. Like I just feel like a decision has to be made here. It's almost like I feel like spirit is saying here that like this isn't the time to victimize yourself. There is a time and a place to reflect on some of the things you've been through and heal from those wounds. But I feel like this isn't it, because I feel like you're on top of your game and you're like so close to just kind of like leveling up your life. And it's not like when we level up that there's like a specific point where we just like not leveled up, you know what I mean? It's just more like making the decision that like, okay, I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. So I feel like spirit is also saying that like whatever choice you make, the people around you are gonna support you. So for some of you, it could even be that like maybe even if you don't really, sorry, what I'm trying to say is perhaps you did meet somebody, but you're not as attracted to them as you thought you would be, or the chemistry isn't really there, but they have something else that could benefit you in the long run. Like maybe they're financially stable, they're emotionally intelligent, even though you don't really have chemistry. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because emotionally intelligent people, people with not a lot of like baggage, like are kind of perceived as being like kind of like better, because then there won't be as many problems in the relationship. But I mean, I strongly believe that everybody has their own baggage and it shouldn't really matter. You just gotta choose the baggage you want to deal with. And it's possible that maybe you don't want to deal with this person's baggage, whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be like obvious. It could just be that like you just don't want this person after all. You want to focus on yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I also do feel like if you don't choose this person, this new relationship, um, you need to have the strength to reach out and let them know clearly that you're not interested. I feel like this is also what's coming through here. I feel like the next step of your life is choosing to be to choosing to make a decision and following through with it. So I feel like spirit is saying if you're not gonna choose this person, you don't want them to be in your life, that you shouldn't just ghost them. I feel like it's just so common for people to just ghost one another. And I mean, I feel like ghosting can vary by situation. I feel like sometimes you just don't know somebody enough, and that like depends on the person. But at the same time, there are times where ghosting can happen and you might not see it as a big deal, but the person might. So I would strongly suggest that you take a look at the situation, not just from your point of view but from their point of view. Like if they're very excited to see you, talk to you, and you suddenly disappear, like how do you think that would make them feel? So I just feel like spirit is trying to say that like overall, whatever decision you're trying to make, be decisive about it. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and say what you feel. And let's say even for a minute, like maybe you do want this person in your life, but you have so much going on in your life that you're so scared that you won't be able to have time to manifest whatever it is you're trying to do, a relationship and some other thing going on here in your life. Let's call it a career, for example. Well, I still feel like the message applies here. You need to reach out to this person and, be vulnerable with them and let them know, like, hey, I really want you to be in my life, but I also have this thing going on, and I'm afraid that I might not be able to prioritize you the way you would want me to. So this would kind of give the other person the choice to also decide if they want to deal with your side of things, you know, and you both can come to like a true union possibly, or he or she could decide that, you know what, I don't want that and I'm gonna let you go, if that makes sense. So I do feel like this is strongly about letting something go in for some of you. And if it's not about letting go, it's just about making a decision, because it could very well be that this person is okay with your life being all over the place. You know, with your job, your responsibilities, commitments. They could be understanding and they might decide to give it a shot. But I also know that, you know, there are people that might not be okay with that. They're like, no, I want your full attention. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not just like an afterthought in some ways. And, you know, it's just different for everybody. I don't necessarily feel like that's a good or bad thing. I only see it as a bad thing when it gets a little too too obsessive, like they want you around all the time, which to me that sounds like grounds for some healing and shadow work. But yeah, so I hope this all made sense so far. So just in recap, I think spirit really just wants you to be vulnerable and realize that, you know, whatever you've been through, especially in terms of romance, there is nothing wrong with being vulnerable. In fact, it's actually like a sign of strength. And also like being honest with yourself and others about what you really want in life. For some of you, you really want this, and for some of you, you just really want the freedom. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like it's the fear that's stopping you from going to that full-on transformation that you deserve. Okay. So we're just gonna pull out a few more cards, and I want to see how the situation is gonna turn out. So Spirit, please give me some cards for the future of this person. Okay, I got 2. Timing, fertility. I don't know. I just felt so like compelled to take these. So I'm like, I usually don't take them when they come out at the same time. But at the same time, I was kind of like, I don't know. I just felt compelled to take it. Give me one more card. Gratitude. So for your cards, you got timing, fertility, and gratitude. Well, would you look at that? I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this one. It's just, I don't really want to tell anybody how to live their lives in any way, but I do feel like for some of you, oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna say the potential of both outcomes here, because with fertility here, I see something about a birth, obviously. So this could be the birth of a new relationship or a birth of a new you. Does this make sense? So I feel like you're gonna overcome this feeling of not knowing what to choose, being blinded by your fears. I think whatever choice you make, you're gonna be grateful in the future. I think in due timing, you're gonna realize that you made the right decision. Um, I feel like in the beginning, it might be a little rocky when you make a certain decision. Like, let's say, for example, you choose the single life, let's call it. Let's say you choose a single life. At first, you might be like regretting it, not taking the opportunity to be with this person. Like, it's gonna feel that way at first, but I feel like if you just give it some time, you're just gonna be so grateful for, choosing yourself, if this makes sense, and bringing into the world a new version of yourself that nobody ever like could have expected. For some of you, it could even be that like you choose a relationship for the first time in your life, like this is completely new to you. Or for some of you, um and again, I feel like when you choose this partnership, it's gonna feel weird because you're not used to it. You're not used to being with somebody, whether it's like your first relationship ever, or you haven't been like dating anybody seriously for a long time, or like your last relationship was like years ago and you're just not used to being with somebody like that again. I feel like it's gonna be rocky, but in due timing, yes, you are gonna be very grateful that you made this decision. So you see what I'm saying? I feel like no matter what decision you make, provided you don't do something overly crazy that like leaves people hurt, like I think you're gonna be okay. I think the only way I see this not happening is if you're not honest with yourself and that person. Does that make sense? So I feel like this pile needs to be very honest about what they want and be clear about what you want. And for some of you, like I've been saying, it could be a new relationship. For some of you, it could be the single life still. There's nothing wrong with either of those, okay? So, so pile 4. I hope this all made sense. And if it didn't, feel free to choose a different pile. I've just been noticing these have been very oddly specific messages. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video, honestly, because these messages were all so different, but like somehow similar. I don't get it. Like I don't know how this works. But anyway, so yeah, feel free to pick a different pile if this did not resonate, or if this did resonate and you're attracted to a different pile, you know, feel free to pick that as well. And if not, I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye bye.